All right, then, give us an example of a company you've worked for or a project you worked on where you've had like a challenging experience. And this is just for the young designers out there, just to relay some of that information to them. So is there anyone you've worked for or a project you've worked on where it was challenging, you've probably had a bad experience? How have you dealt with that and turned it around?
No, great question. A loaded question as well.
Yeah.
I ran my own business for almost 3 years. At my design agency, I had a very exclusive client who held multiple companies inside of one entity. Right. I believe it's about 8 or 9 businesses inside of that. It was my job as an exclusive contractor for them to manage all of those brands individually, but that also meant wearing different hats for each business because it varied. It was anything from healthcare, hospitality, real estate, investment portfolio. It was quite a plethora. Okay. The person who owned it is somebody that I found quite challenging to get his vision across. More so because he was a man about figures. He was very analytical. As a boss, he was all about driving numbers and metrics and stuff like that. So we found it difficult to get on the same page when I was trying to bring his vision out. But he was looking at ROI constantly. So being able to articulate with that individual in some of the sacrifices, I don't even want to say sacrifices, it's not the right word. Some of the compromises we had to make for the design to go further than ROI in order to meet this expectation or this business goal was quite a difficult conversation for me to have with them.
Do you feel like he was more about time and money?
Yes.
You was more about, and he was also about just results?
Yes.
Right.
100%.
So it's hard to discuss that with someone with
it is hard to discuss that.
Yeah.
When somebody's saying time is money. And I appreciate that. So I understood a lot about the businesses as well, which is why the best way for me to mitigate those conversations was to give him real life examples and proof of this is what X, Y, and Z is going to do in the long run. In terms of this is the amount of profit we're going to make, this is where we're going to break even, this is the timeline and schedule we're looking at, and that would help move and evolve our conversations past the initial, this is costing me money, I don't think this is worth the investment, etc. So I had to learn how the businesses operated in order to articulate correctly to him, this is how it's going to work, and this is why it's going to work. And then that eventually got us into conversations that we were more aligned. It was never 100%, but I'm grateful that I was able to learn how to speak his language. And I think that was the biggest takeaway that I had during that time.
So you're pretty because you had to wear many different hats, you're pretty multifaceted. When you're taking on such a big organization like that with different companies in it, was you doing this by yourself or did you have to create a team?
Yeah, so this was it was a one-man show. So as the creative director of all of these businesses, I wasn't just managing each of the brands. I was creating the work for each of the brands, thinking about how to have it be engaged with more, how to publicize it, how to get it out there so people know about them all as well. And when things got more challenging, I would have budgets and the opportunity to externally hire. So I would hire design agencies to assist me or freelancers or contractors to be able to help me manage my workload. So a lot of it was delegation at certain times or busier periods of time. And I think that's how I managed to work it within those 3 years as well. And it did get to a quite organic place where things were running quite smoothly. Everything was happening as it should have, as it was planned or predicted. Forecasting was great as well. But as you both will know, inside of the design industry, there are always unforeseen circumstances and things you have to account for in terms of costs and stuff like that that will make you take a step back sometimes. And then those are the more complicated scenarios. But it happens with every business. You need to prepare for the unexpected.
Did you ever feel like quitting when you're just going through, obviously having to wear all these different hats, kind of figure out a way how to communicate with your boss?
And I don't think it's a bad thing to say that I genuinely thought about removing myself from it constantly. But it was another reason for me to stay put because I wasn't willing to take failure. I wasn't willing to take that on the head and be like, okay, let's just move on to the next thing. Those unsuccesses, those failures in my head were major growth points inside of my career. Had I not pushed past some of those boundaries and some of the barriers I had to face, I would not be the designer I am today, nor the businessman, nor the marketer, whatever. I got a chance to be everybody in a marketing team or a design team.
It's like you went on a crash course in it.
Yeah, and I don't regret it.
In the deep end. It's needed sometimes, man. I feel like when you are thrown in the deep end, it's like you've got to learn a lot of things in a short period of time, but that's when you build a lot more resilience. That's where you build skills to move faster, how to analyze and move a lot quicker. It's like it's not the best scenario all the time, but when you are thrown in the deep end at times, you got to learn how to swim, man.
Absolutely.
Character building, man.
Yeah, no, I think in any room now, I will foresee things before anybody else, purely because I've been there and I've done that.
Yeah.
Whether that makes me somebody who's like a bit of a general practitioner or not, I can just identify some of these risks very early on. And I think that will graciously help any business trying to achieve something great.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you ever had a period like through your design career when you thought, you know, forget it, I've had enough of this?
I've had clients I've worked with and I'm just like, I'm never working with this client again. Or I'm thinking like, yo, can't wait for this project to be over. Or I'm going to make one more change and I'm going to say to this geezer, but, you know, he's turned around and I've realised, you know what, because I know that there's more for me in this and there's things I still haven't done. I can't stop now. If I stop now, I'm not going to be able to achieve these things.
Agreed.
So it's just ambition, really. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
And it's not personal. Sometimes we have to take a step back and realise, you know what, it's just business.
I think, you see that keyword personal? I was taking some of these things personal.
We're
Even
human.
how
It
clients
happens.
talk to me. And I was thinking, you know what? Let me remove the personal part.
Yeah.
Let me get down to business. And when I've got down to business, it's mad because it's like, it's just a turnaround. Their whole everything towards me was like, oh yeah. And I'm thinking, okay, you know, you said you understood your client's language.
Yes.
It's now me understanding my client's language. And I'm like, alright, cool. Because if you put you have to separate the emotions from the logic, and
I have to do it.
And me being stubborn as well, I had to do that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got nowhere. Do you know what I mean? And the more I get older and the more I experience things within
I was going to say, it
design,
takes time and experience to get into that
you
mindset.
start to learn more about yourself as well.
Absolutely.
You get me? So that's it.
I feel like it's definitely is helpful, like, you know, like you said, taking that step back, because sometimes it's that frustration of, because you've been going back and forth for so long, it's like you've built up that annoyance where it's like, well, if you had certain things in place, a lot of that back and forth would have been cut, because you would have said, okay, to the client, we've got 2 changes. After these 2 changes, it's going to cost.
Yep.
It's going to cost you more. When clients know that they're not looking to go back and forth, they're going to take their time to look at what they want, what they need, and the whole process is a lot smoother. Because that's what I used to get annoyed with that all the time. Like, why am I going back and forth, spending all this time? It's like, it just builds up and you get frustrated. And it's like, I just want this job to finish now.
Yeah.
As
a designer, you got to protect yourself, and this is how you do it. You have to be able to put some of these restraints in
100%.
order to just consolidate the whole process. Because otherwise you will be wasting time.
Because once you have your statement of work there, it's like everything's just smooth now.
Yep.
Like, you know that I don't want to go back and forth. I want to get the job done. Like, I don't mind doing stuff over if we've got to do small little changes, but if it's a big change and you've changed your whole idea, then that's gonna change the cost of this project.
You know what that's like? That's like if you look at like leading retail shops, you either have 14 days or 30 days to take something back. Imagine if they didn't give you a period of time and the trainers are just there in the box in your room, you know, smelling, got clothes on them. It's too laid back, and the store would be thinking there's no communication. It just creates like a bit of a toxic kind of environment. The fact that they've got like a sort of structure and guideline to what they do, it makes you kind of respect them and you follow the process.
100%.
You get me? I've just thought about that now, to be honest.
I think it comes back down to transparency, isn't it? It's not withholding anything in particular. It's just, it's giving you a bit of padding, a little bit of breathing space to figure out what you actually want to do with this, if it's a yes or a no. That's it.
Yeah, for real.